this song, and I've sang it a bunch of times in my car.
The 10,000 Reasons?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I just noticed that there's a reference to the millennial reign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I just I was looking at it and it said 1,000 years and forever.
And then
That's
forever,
right.
Yeah. I just recognize that.
1,000 years reference to what?
Shabbat.
The millennium?
Yeah, Millennium,
I
Shabbat.
was thinking about the millennium, and you say that the millennium there'll be all ages of people living in the millennium.
Yes.
Versus heaven. There'll be a different kind of lifestyle in the millennium
Yes.
to that of heaven.
Yes. Because during the millennium, we are transitioning back to Genesis. We're transitioning back to a time. During the millennium, there will be non-believers. During the millennium, there will be birth and death. Those that die will then die a second death because they will choose not to. There's going to be people who are going to survive during tribulation and they'll be alive. And so they have to, so okay, let's go there. Rosh Hashanah, it's Yom Teruah, Feast of Trumpets. Yom Kippur. In the 10 days in between, there's days of awe. The Jewish tradition is that on Yom Teruah, Feast of Trumpets, books are open. Well, we know that there's books. Scripture tells us books. So, okay, so they should know. They had it before we did, right? So the books are open. Books of life, books of death, and books of deeds. And those books are open on Yom Teruah. Then those who have spent the 30 days prior to doing teshuvah, right, turning, 30 days prior to Yom Teruah, before the trumpet blasts, your names are going to be written in the book of life. Yes, be there. Don't make me cry. Then for those 10 days, those who have not made their decision have 10 days to make their decision. Well, I liken it, I know it says one day is like 1,000 years, but in the case of the millennium, those 10 days are like 100 years. So that's like a day for 100 years. So the 1,000-year reign during there. But when that last trumpet sounds, when he says it's done at the end of the millennium reign, he lets loose the enemy. Why? That used to puzzle me. So because there's a bunch who survived tribulation, there's some that are born. Maybe they haven't made up their minds yet, but they haven't been tempted or tested by the enemy. So you want to make you have to make a choice. That's why I talk about resolve and resign, right? Because we are going to realize it during the millennium. Those who pre-make their choice, we will realize it in the millennium. Those who decide in the millennium are going to realize it in eternity. Okay. Where am I? So on that day, when the books are closed on Yom Kippur, right? That's a day of atonement. It's also a day of judgment. So when the books are closed, that's it. If your name hasn't been written in the book of life, you're immediately written in the book of death. Game over. It's done. Okay? And then it's eternity. Then's eternity.
New heavens.
And it's a renewed heaven, renewed earth. Not new as in brand spanking new. It's renewed. Okay? It's renewed. So you have to look at the language and the context. It's renewed. So we don't go anywhere.
Except up to Jerusalem.
Except for up to Jerusalem. That's right. Yes, because, during the millennium reign, we are going to be, you might as well get used to Leviticus 23, because we're going up to Jerusalem. So Jerusalem is center of everything. And whether you're north, south, east, or west, Jerusalem is always up. Always. Come, let us go up. If you're in the north, you're still going up. That's the way it is. So
Interesting.
it's Jerusalem center.
I think we'll
Good
understand
question.
how that
So,
works at the time.
yeah.